MEP Jonathan Arnott, Bill Etheridge and Diane James, Councillor Lisa Duffy, activist Philip Broughton and Elizabeth Jones have all been confirmed. We can speak to one of those who will be standing. Elizabeth Jones, Deputy Chair of UKIP's Lambeth branch and NEC member. Good evening and thanks so much for your time.
Good evening to you, Eddie.
Why you?
Why me as leader? Well, I am the only non-professional politician out of the group. I work entirely in the private sector, have done so my entire life. My running mate, deputy leader, is Lawrence Webb. He is the leader of the UKIP group over in Havering. And between us, we've contested 33 elections, and between us, we have garnered over 100,000 votes. You know, we've not been in Brussels. We haven't been having the Brussels.
How many of those elections have you actually won?
Well, Lawrence has won a couple of them because he is a councillor in Havering and he's leader of the UKIP group over in the Havering Council. I haven't, well, I suppose I could say I contributed significantly toward the European election win in 2014 when Gerard Batten became the MEP for London. Similarly, this year, 2016, when we had two people who were elected to be members of the GLA. So indirectly, my efforts have helped. And, of course, the huge one, the big one, Brexit, the referendum. So I think that my significant efforts...
Yeah, but that's the party, and we'll get on to the party, Elizabeth. But
sure.
The truth is that you've tried a few times and it's never quite worked. Why do you think it will work? I don't mean specifically for leader of the party.
Sure.
But why do you think you are electable now when apparently you haven't been before?
Well, certain things have changed significantly in the political landscape. For instance, we have the absolute collapse of the Labour Party, and this will certainly offer us a significant opportunity because we can now offer an alternative in government to the extremist, almost...
I'm not talking about the party, Elizabeth. I promise you we will get to the party.
Sure.
At the minute, I want to talk about you.
Okay.
And I'm asking why you are electable now when you haven't apparently been before.
I haven't been electable, but within UKIP, I'm a member of the NEC. I was the chairwoman of Southwark. I became the deputy chairwoman of Southwark UKIP, and now I'm the deputy chairwoman of Lambeth. So in the past, within the intra-system of UKIP, I have been elected several times. Now, why I won't necessarily become... I may actually have a far better chance of being elected leader than getting onto an MEP list or an assembly list, because it is an entirely free vote. Every member can vote, and it's entirely free. There aren't rankings already put in place. There aren't... the candidates have already been selected, so it will be an entirely free run.
Should Stephen have been allowed to run?
I am on the NEC, and I'm also a leadership candidate, so I have to recuse...
So you're magnificently well placed to answer the question.
No, because I don't think it'd be appropriate for me to discuss that matter. I'm very fond of...
Well, I'm not asking you why he should he have been allowed to... He was late, but should he have been allowed to... He was the front runner, wasn't he? He would have been somebody standing against you.
I would have dearly loved him to run. He's a very affable and charming man. I've known him for a very long time. It would have been excellent if he could run. But the way the rules are the rules, and I would be, one of my platform policies is to seek a move away from cronyism, a more open approach and more democracy within the internal structure of the party, and that must actually involve obeying the rules. That's what the rules are there for. We can't necessarily bend the rules just because we like someone, or bend the rules because we don't like someone. The rules are there to be completely blind toward the emotional attachment that you have to any one person.
Let's talk about the party now, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
What is the point of the United Kingdom Independence Party when we have voted Brexit? There is no point in your party anymore, is there?
Of course there's a point in the party. I mean, for goodness sake, you don't win a referendum on 72% turnout with 17.4 million votes and not have a significant political future. You don't secure 4 million votes in the first pass and not have a political future.
You know, the reason for living, your raison d'etre, your whole drive, was to get Britain out of Europe. You've accomplished that.
No,
what else is there for you to do?
No, we haven't. We're still in the EU. We're still paying our subs. We're still subject to those crazy regulations about toasters and bananas. We are still in it.
Okay.
And it seems to me, day by day, the exit seems to be fading away into the horizon. I do not know when Article 50 is going to be invoked. Who knows what progress is going to be made? Last time I was reading about it, it was some date in 2020. So we need to be there to put on the pressure. And not only are we there just for Brexit, as I said earlier, the Labour Party has more or less imploded, and we need to give the working men and women of this country and those in need of assistance and support across the country honest politics. Which
But let's say, I mean, the Prime Minister has said Brexit means Brexit. And let's say, the initiation, the invoking of Article 50 takes place. Let me ask you that question again. What's the point of UKIP?
I'm just going to tell you now, it's halfway through that. The Labour Party has morphed into something it certainly didn't start off as. It's no longer the traditional solid old Labour Party. It's becoming more and more extremist. It's basically, I would say, gone from momentum to mayhem to madness. Now, most former old Labour voters are looking for a genuine British, honest-to-goodness political choice. They want common sense, decency, fairness and British values. They do not want a mishmash of quasi-communist, multicultural, anti-monarchist, anti-law and order, anti-armed forces and anti-British guff from the Corbyn clan. I mean, it sounds like hand-me-down diktats from the doomed old Soviet Union, the handbook from the old man in Highgate. Now, this is deeply unattractive, so we will take over the former traditional voting base of Labour. And one of my party policies plans is, one of the platform policies that I'm going to be introducing, is that we want to reach out to the unions. We want to go out there, go to union meetings, explain our situation with regard to immigration, explain our situation with regard to opportunity in education, opportunity in employment, because the votes are there in the heartlands of Labour.
We'll have to leave it there, and I appreciate your time very, very much. Elizabeth Jones, who is the Deputy Chair of UKIP's Lambeth branch and NEC member, and running to be leader. 028 722 42000 if you've got any comments there. Just a little after 6:16, let's find out what's happening on London's road, shall we? From Billy Reeves, shall we?